Greetings. I am known as Dr. John Taylor Kent. I have an earned doctorate, Doctor of Philosophy and Psychology, which is the termination degree of 5 degrees. I am a fairly well read man, just interrupted and distracted by just getting distracted by, I don't understand what's happening with these women today. I think they're bots. I think that, who knows what's going on. Artificial intelligence, I do not know. But my name is Dr. John Taylor Kent. I'm a retired psychologist. I retired several years ago after suffering from 2 strokes, in which I was hobbled and I was unable to defend myself. I realized that even though I may have been safe to practice, I wasn't sure of that. So I did take myself out of it and I retired. I retired my licenses. 20 years ago, I started a domain called, I started the drkentshow.com. That's one of my domains, and the other one is givingpsychologyaway.com. And I am selling just the domain. I have changed. I mean, since reading the Bible, I think I'm a new man. I know I've changed quite a bit. And also my focus has changed. So my focus is not on psychology as much as it is on the real study of the soul, on Bible. Bible teaching the faith of our fathers, the way that Yahshua the Messiah gave us. So that's where I am, and that's considered controversial. I understand that. And I understand there's a war for our minds, a war for our souls. So I've chosen sides. I really don't have a choice. I was humbled and I was brought back to life basically and restored purposely from my mission, which I'm doing my best to fulfill. So I want to pass. This is a good web domain name. I have all of the TLDs, whatever the heck they are, meaning the name is covered, is protected. And I'm going to give you those rights, all of those that I have, I'm going to give to you. And I'm hoping you out there will actually take this and make something really good of it. I can envision that you could have a practice and you could have multiple psychologists and counselors in various states that you could refer people to, perhaps even psychiatrists that you could refer people to. I think that's important. I think that would be an excellent mission for a younger person than myself, somebody that stays up with the literature, somebody that maintains their competencies. Me, mine are questionable. That's all that I admit it. I have to say that. However, I also have given up the prevailing brainwashing from the APA and the forcing of wokeness upon us and all of that. And that, I think, is what makes me controversial. So, yes, I covered a lot of topics, and there's a lot out there, and I'm not gonna hide from that. But the fact is that I'm different today than I was when I started this, and I'd like to see somebody buy the site, get the rights to it, who actually sets up what I would have loved to have done, which would have been a network of competent mental health professionals around the nation to refer people to, and to just take them and deal with them as best I can and refer them on properly to someone who can give them regular, proper treatment. And somebody that's not going to milk them and keep them there forever, but somebody who understands that therapy is invasive. It's not benign and can be dangerous. Somebody who's going to, abide by the best of the ethics codes and even rising above the ethics. Our ethics codes and the APA are, some of those things are pretty questionable. But I embrace those as my training dictated to me because it actually separates us and lets us know what we are, what we do compared to the clients. Now, I hope that somebody out there will take this domain and make something good of it. And this channel is not for sale with that domain whatsoever. None of the content is going to be carried over. So please don't worry about that. But you have to understand, I went large, I went big, I covered so many subjects that I ended up with 3 separate blogs, 2 of which are archived. And I don't have time to maintain those, but I hope that the person who buys my domain will be able to stay on top of all that and do what I could not do. So if to the man, woman, to the organization that buys my domain, I wish you the most success, and may Yahweh bless you. Even though you don't know Yahweh, maybe he will call you and use you as well. That rising tide raises all boats. All ships float on that. We need to restore the values of our nation. We need to restore the confidence of our nation. We need to restore the men to their proper place. We need to work to stop the violence, all of it, but we can't do that. It's the nature of this creation. This world is ruled by violence, sadly. But men need their places so that we can defend our families, and we've been deprived of that. So let's stop the violence against men as best we can. I believe that goes a long way to stopping the violence against women and children. You see, all I've ever heard is stop the violence against women and children. That is projecting negatively. Stop the violence against men. I think that when you do that, and men are safe in their own homes and houses, in their persons and their papers, just like the Constitution says, I think it goes better. I think that when women have a strong man, strong husband, who's sacrificing, willing to make the sacrifice for them, I think they have security. I think that's what they need. They need that so that they have the freedom to rear children properly and to homeschool them, because no one teaches you like mother does. Yes, I miss my mother. She wasn't perfect. She got bad information from the prevailing nurseries, if you will, in the 50s. I miss the nation I was reared in. And my mission now is to try to salvage what I can, to do what I can to help. So if you know of a way to put my talents to use, and if you know of a way to put this domain to use, please buy my web domain and enjoy it and really provide quality services out there. We need to get the truth out there about our research and the truth about the limits of our knowledge. We need to set people free once again instead of dominating them, instead of dictating to them. Remember, we serve the client. That's the goal. I'm so grateful to the great men who trained me, and there were many of them. There were some women in there as well, but everybody brings a different flavor to it, folks. May Yahweh bless.